Thanks so much, Lottie. Elimination finals, here we go. The difference between second and third, almost $11,000. So not only bragging rights on for show, you got the bag as well to secure.
Chunk of change, difference in pools and what you'll play in Kansas City. So caveat it with a little cherry on top if you're able to take the W in this series. It's a very important one, not only monetary-wise, but what the potential on the world stage in Kansas City could be a whole.
Let's talk about it then. They touched upon it on the desk, how Quadrant have struggled in pool play. They've gone this momentous elimination bracket run, but now they come up against NaVi, their first big test since possibly Jay Ling's in pool play. We're jumping into Aquarius CTF as our game one, Wes. What can you tell me about it? Who has the leg up here?
I'm going to give it to NaVi. Having taken a look at the most recent set of scrims for these guys, they actually didn't play Aquarius up until a little bit ago in their second time around. These two teams matched up in their scrims. NaVi took it, and I actually like NaVi's play style on Aquarius CTF specifically because they have this legacy style Halo map, an opportunity to have some success. It's very familiar for all these players to have that known quantity of success for.
Well, the first couple of slays do go in favor of NaVi. Of Quadrant. Camouflage has been scooped up as well. Shad not opting to use it until this moment right here. What can he do with it?
What can he do with it already? It looks like Quadrant in such a good position, and I worry for NaVi as this series starts off, Jersey, because let me tell you, I had my rear end kicked several times in the winners bracket finals, going to the losers bracket finals to play a hot team like Quadrant right now. It didn't go well very many times, and if it doesn't go well at the start of this game, that could mean very drastic measures for NaVi.
This first game could be very big and dictating what way this series is going to go. Will NaVi now go 4 successive maps back-to-back without reply? Can Quadrant increase the pressure? You've lost to 3 Frenchmen and an Englishman, and now you've got 4 more Frenchmen looking to do even more damage.
I love that NaVi was able to eliminate Camo without it doing too much damage. Quadrant looked like they were in a good position to start, but now Jimbo in a better position.
Oh.
A nice double kill from him should open up the map for NaVi, and I love how NaVi's been able to weather the storms from the beginning mishaps.
So a minute and so into the game here. Both these teams still jostling for position. Kimbo sends TchiK and looking to turn his attention towards the flag. But unfortunately for him, he does get shut down, and utility control still here for NaVi. SLG, last man alive, back base, but unfortunately for him, he's not able to do much. And 2Foxy already starting to descend with the rest of his team. Can they get the better of this engagement? TchiK's been isolated here. It's a 1v1 now, but 2Foxy gets shut down by Shad.
There's a 2v2 in the base. It looks like Quadrant did enough to find the defensive stand successful. Now trying to push out towards the Dynamo side. We'll see if they're able to get control of the enemy closet. You're seeing NaVi had their opportunity at a potential flag run there, but they couldn't get the slays.
Camouflage did just pop up, but it wasn't for long. It was Respectful who scooped it up, and unfortunately not able to utilize it in any which way, shape or form. He gets sent to the respawn screen. A flag run on the cards here, a 1v1. Shad comes out on top, locks in a killing spree, says thank you very much, I'll have that flag please.
Shad's the most recent pickup for this Quadrant team, having replaced Nurix after a little bit of success from them, and already making his name known here in the elimination finals. As he gets the flag all the way across, they punch it in, and all of a sudden Quadrant in the lead.
Quadrant draw first blood then. 3 dead momentarily. Have they given up map control to secure that flag cap? Trades are coming back and forth here. A big 1v1 in the base. Jimbo does not come out on top. This first flag cap's going to stand. No counter cap opportunity.
And who better than Shad? Once again, coming off respawn to get that kill onto Jimbo to flush the resources of NaVi out of his base, and he's not done yet. Another double kill for Shad. He's really starting to heat up here with 10 kills already.
Not a bad time to announce yourself to the world stage in elimination final. Shad looking to show exactly why he's been picked up, and Nurix has gone to a coach role.
3 dead for Quadrant as they tried to push into that base though. So once again, a strong defensive stand for NaVi. Keep this at a 1-0 lead for Quadrant. But as we talked about it, Jersey, you got to see signs of life from NaVi. You want to see some momentum build in their favor because they've lost 3 straight games in tragic domination format on the side of Ascend. It can so easily start to snowball against you if they don't get any momentum in this game 1.
Our NaVi starting to spiral. The first 4 minutes of this game have not gone according to plan for the black and yellow. 2Foxy pushes up over towards P. Trying to identify players. Nobody home though. He hears something. He's a little bit nervous, not too comfortable. Camouflage about the pop. And that player he heard is now performing a backstab. He loses his life.
It's top 3 dead as Camo starts to pop, so you have to think Quadrant are going to be able to secure this one again, and they've dominated this story throughout the start of this game.
It was something we've seen with Ascend getting every power up. It's something we're seeing again with Quadrant picking up every power up. NaVi not prioritizing, and if they do, they're still not managing to secure it. 3 dead now. Jimbo last man alive for NaVi. Flag already on the move.
And look at this position from Shad, just in a perfect spot to assist flag spawns and corner spawns. He's actually going to opt to run this flag with the camo. I actually love the fact he's going to drop this one and try and slay, knowing that NaVi has now had time to come off their spawn and relocate. Quadrant are going to have to reslay in order to get this flag any further.
Shad also got the information that Kimbo was extending over towards car 1. It wasn't enough as 2 Foxy and Respectful pick up kills onto Shad and SLG respectfully. What that flag could have represented a flag capture, but somehow NaVi survived.
The potential to go up 2-0 would have been so massive for Quadrant, but NaVi shut that storyline down. Now with control of the enemy base, Respectful, Dynamo nades in hand, has a massive opportunity to get a couple kills with the flag on the move already.
NaVi looking to not only shut that storyline down, but create storylines of their own here. They've got the pen in their hands. They're writing down on paper, looking to tie up this game right here, right now. 2 Foxy slides in, flag secured, 1-1 in game.
Jersey, this could be the best series we've had all weekend. 2 of these teams, different trajectories, but so highly contested when these 2 match up. One of the things that stuck out to me the most when looking at their scrim results as of recent is how close almost every single one of these games were. Already tied up as we enter the halfway mark here of game 1. We can only hope this one goes the distance.
Nothing to separate these 2 teams. Quadrant have gone down by 4 now. Respectful's moving that flag, looking to get back-to-back flag caps in quick succession. He's already gotten it well over the halfway point. They're escorting it all the way home. They've still got a full complement of players. No shots will be received. A clean flag cap for NaVi. They take the lead.
Most importantly, they got 3 dead still. Another flag being pulled, so a double cap opportunity here for NaVi.
NaVi are starting to turn things up now. They're increasing the pressure in the kitchen. The heat's been turned up just a notch. Looking to put down another flag cap. And it looks as though Fragxr going to hit the grave. But there's 2 members in utility to try and get the stop.
Gaskin said out of the frying pan into the kitchen, or whatever the phrase was. But it's a matter of who's doing the frying at this point. And it looks like NaVi has weathered the storm, started to do some frying of their own. And with that, now have that 1 cap lead, 5 minutes remaining. We're going to see Quadrant can respond.
Can they withstand the pressure? SLG doing his best, locking in a killing spree for his team. TchiK picks up one in the feed also. That's going to be 3 dead momentarily. 2 Foxy, last man alive. Grenade starting to land at the feet of the flag cap, trying to predict that flag run. Doesn't get the sufficient amount of damage. He's going to keep fumbling that. That could come back to bite him later on in the game. And it looks as though it could be coming back to bite him here. He's been stopped right before the flagpole.
I'll be so mad if they don't punch this in. They get it in, they tie the game, but how many times have we seen flags be fumbled this weekend? It almost costed Quadrant the potential opportunity to tie this one up, and you cannot afford to make mistakes like that in the elimination finals, so you have to think eventually they will be punished.
2-2 then. Shad starting to express himself. Unfortunately, he runs into 2 members painted in gold. He goes down. TchiK and SLG answer back though and restore parity to the game. 2-2 here. 4 minutes left on the clock.
Big kills out of Quadrant to clear out their closet. No counter cap opportunity for NaVi there. As the map continues to be reset, a couple more slays look like they're going to go back and forth. But TchiK, a little bit of an overextension there. And just like that, 3 dead for Quadrant and NaVi look to secure maybe their first camo of the game.
2 Foxy's picked it up. It's the first one he's secured. First one NaVi have secured since Respectful got the very first one, but it was essentially a burn. What can 2 Foxy do with it now? Can he be an influence on the map? Those sizzle sticks are sizzling and clinging on to him. He's been taken down to just about 1/4 shields, but 3 go down now. Shad, last man alive.
3 dead, last guy alive in the flag. If you deal with him, you're able to run this flag. Unfortunately, he plays his life well enough to buy some time. Now the rest of NaVi have to slay out. Multiple members getting tagged up by these grenades, and because they lose a few players, this flag run is going to be much more difficult. But Shad, last guy alive. Jimbo, last guy alive. The only thing is, Jimbo has that flag across the map.
The straight 1v1, grenade sent straight down, straight stairs.
Delays
Foxy, though, has managed to stop Shad. Foxy picks up that flag. He wants to send his team into grand finals. He secures that flag cap, but they've gone 3 dead. Another counter cap opportunity on the cards.
3 dead, multiple members of Quadrant now to deal with in your base. Fragxr immediately grabs that flag, so it's a good job by him to recognize the situation, get this flag in hand. Hope the rest of the boys in blue can get the slays they need, and just like that, Respectful is going to be the first blood in this situation. That could potentially be the kill that denies NaVi the opportunity to push across the map. But just look at this, Kimbo is in their base.
Pressure being applied to that flag carrier. Kimbo has thrown that flag out. 2 members go down a piece, make it 3. Foxy, last man alive that can potentially get this stop, but he's being backed down all the way into bottom middle. They have to try and get this return. They've secured 2 Foxy down bottom middle. Return will come through. This series, this game is going to be all tied up here on Aquarius CTF. 3-3 as we enter the final 2 minutes.
Back and forth, back and forth. These 2 teams have brought the competition to each other so far here in game 1, tied up, 2 minutes left. Now it's going to be up to individuals to try and make plays to create the difference here in game 1. Ooh.
Little body disrespect. Hello, Foxy. You've woken up and you're here to play. Letting it be known. He never backs down from a fight. Always wants a bit of the beef. Picks up a perfect shot as well. Shuts down another Frenchman. Sends Fragxr to the respawn screen. Turns his attention to camouflage. Secures that along with the heat wave. But no, he gets shut down by TchiK.
Shut down, and that would have been a big job for him to be able to turn the corner, stay alive with that camo, but already NaVi kind of turning that camo story around. We'll wonder if it'll benefit them. Unfortunately, TchiK with the heat wave now in the base, in your face, finds 1, runs the flag immediately as well, and now NaVi have to act quick.
They have acted quick. 3 have gone down. Shad last man alive. Kimbo already positioned over towards car 1, turns his attentions back to his own flag, will send it home. Leaving for his teammate, picking up sizzle sticks and the heat wave, trying to gain territory on the map, trying to get possession of the enemy utility closet, but they scouted this out and they put a stop to that.
Not the best sizzle sticks we've seen, but Jimbo picks up a double. You heard me say it, and that's the last time. Jersey, I promised that that'll come out of my mouth, but I had to make you happy. I had to put a smile on your face. But now, what can NaVi players do to put a smile on their fans' face? You got 45 seconds left. You do not want to take this one to overtime, but it may just be that because 3 members go down and you need to be focused on defense from here on out.
Jimbo, huge 1v1, gets a fresh 4, gets shut down by Shad though, not able to build upon it. Heat wave in possession of Shad as they look to descend upon Fragxr, but unfortunately, Respectful slams the door on that Fragxr. You're not eating tonight. A
good predictive grenade from Respectful relieves a little bit of the pressure on the map there. In Quadrant, they go 3 dead, so with 20 seconds left, NaVi may be able to turn that defensive mindset into an offensive one, and already Respectful getting into the base, but unfortunately, he's snipped out, so is Kimbo. Kills being traded across the board. I can almost guarantee this flag's going nowhere.
Flag going nowhere. Time running out. There's no more sand left in the glass. No player in a position to get a flag pull. We're going to overtime.
Oh, baby, we got ourselves one hell of a series, ladies and gentlemen. The series, when these teams scrim, we're so close to game scores, and already, game 1, proven to be true. We got overtime starting now.
This virtual arm wrestle continues. It's been back and forth. It's ebbed and it's flowed. Who's going to come out on top? Next cap wins.
Battle for camo, 2 Foxy. He's been on top of it for NaVi as of recent. That's going to beat this camo, and a double kill going in his hands. And 2 Foxy says, I hear the power-up story going in Quadrant's favor. He's changed that in the last few minutes of the previous regulation time already. In overtime, he's got himself an opportunity with camo in hand.
Quadrant recognized that, though. Slowed things down to a crawl.
Yeah.
Unable to let 2 Foxy get to work. Scampers away, but not for long as he shut down that camouflage story. He gets stopped here in his tracks. But has he attracted the attention of too many members of Quadrant? Yes, he have. 3 go dead momentarily. Okay. He's going to have to try and stop this flag run as Kimbo locks in another kill.
2 dead for Quadrant. Last 2 players have to make a play because Jimbo played this position so wisely, but somehow someone gets right behind Jimbo, gets an assassination. The flag still on the move, but Shad may be able to deny this one.
2 members in the black and yellow soar out front base to try and get the stop here. And it looks as though Shad, trying as he might, also helps Fragxr secure another kill. There's 2 members down. Nobody watching the flag. They're not prioritizing it whatsoever. Kimbo might be the player to be in position to secure this flag cap. He's getting absolutely lit up here.
I can't believe Shad actually leaves the flag angle, but he actually gets into the base, gets the touch, is able to not throw it out. The flag doesn't make it out the window, Jersey.
Both flags down in the enemy base. Flag's been returned. NaVi secure game 1 in overtime.
Oh my God. I thought it was an absolute ballsy move from Shad to give up that angle to leave that flag. Ends up being the right opportunity, but he gets the touch, can't quite get that flag out of the window, and if that flag gets out the window, we might be talking about a different story. But NaVi, they find the slays, they get the return, they clutch up in overtime, and for the first time, I feel like this weekend, we're seeing a little bit of ice out of NaVi.
That flag hits the wall, and I know if I'm Quadrant, exactly what I'm asking. Who put that wall there? Who designed that wall? Who has put that in the base? Wes knows the answer. Well, perhaps we remove them walls so Quadrant can get some flag caps on the board. But looking at the stats, Wes, what jumps off the page?
It's got to be Jimbo, man. 35 kills to his name, 24 deaths. It's plus 11. Might not have the assist to match, but TchiK has his help in that category, 21 of those of his own. And with those assists and slays only being a one-cap difference, but they just about needed every single one of those numbers to pop up in their favor in order to punch this one as well in their favor.
TchiK, though, most damage in the lobby, 7,500, matching Jimbo stride for stride. But when you look at the kills category, one player had a little bit of a struggle, as we do admire the medals that Jimbo managed to pick up in that last game.
Good medals.
It was Fragxr, and he's been having a tough tournament all weekend long.
He's been having a tough one. Needs to pick it up. We've been asking for it all weekend. Does he have it in him? It's a big question. Taking a look at the highlights now, and NaVi, they started pretty slow in that game, but you could feel momentum start to go in their favor. You could feel control go in their favor, and it really was the change in the guard of Camo that told the difference, that changed some of that momentum. NaVi doing a much better job in that second half of securing some, or at least denying it from the hands of Quadrant.
Let's break it down. Quadrant had this hot start, but then all of a sudden we see NaVi secured back-to-back flag caps and actually threatened to get 3 unanswered in a row.
Yeah, that double cap was massive for them, right? And the fact that they never risked that counter cap opportunity is something that so many teams fail to do. So many teams struggle with when they cap flags. Typically they give up map control, but NaVi showing you that when they have map control, when everything is set up for them and they can control the game, NaVi is one of the best. But unfortunately, they haven't been able to do that against some of the better teams this weekend so often to where they need it to be. We didn't see any of that in the Ascend series, but it's a good sign of life for NaVi that shows you they still have what it takes to get the job done when they have control.
This is the difference between the teams. Yesterday, Quadrant played against J-Lings, and J-Lings opened the door for those counter cap opportunities. Yeah. NaVi, they shut them
They're
down.
Not going to give it.
Now we look at Slayer Recharge as our game number 2.
Let me tell you about this one.
Talk to me.
This one, if I told you the series were close, the games were close when these two teams play, it doesn't get any closer the last time these two played this game. It was Recharge Slayer in the scrims, 50-49 in the favor of NaVi the last time they played. The time before that, 50-49 in favor of Quadrant. So we had an overtime in game 1. We may just be seeing the closest game possible in game 2 as well.
50-49 is going either way, back and forth, as we hope this series goes, as the game 1 showed us and proved it can. Game 2, though, Quadrant have to bounce back here.
You can't go down 2-0. You got to stop momentum. You have to break the confidence of NaVi. We saw how dominant Ascend's game 3 was when they broke NaVi's confidence. Unfortunately for Quadrant fans, NaVi was building some confidence towards the end of that game, especially having watched Jimbo and TchiK's screens. So taking a look at Jimbo early on, we'll learn a lot about how NaVi plans on playing this one.
Can Jimbo and team punch a hole in Quadrant's chest and rip out their hearts here in game 2? And Jimmy's not messing around. Jimmy Bradbuck locks in 1 kill, but unfortunately for him, Fragxr elsewhere is locked in a double kill.
A big double. We asked if Fragxr can step up. Answers immediately, and Camo in the hands of SLG now, so already Quadrant getting back to their roots.
Back to basics. SLG, how often have we seen a sniper rifle in his hands and a camouflage and he's just started cooking? Bottom tower. The world is his oyster here. Not the best of angles. A little bit nervous of what's ahead of him. Gets 1 shot, but not going to be enough to get the kill. And now he's in a world of hurt here, Wes.
Surrounded by NaVi players. He's got a little bit of help from his friends. Can he stay alive is the big question. He is able to dance around that pole, get his shield back. And although none of the shots resulted in headshots for him, he was able to distract the members of NaVi. Would look to be a successful push from Quadrant. They clear out BR Tower. And with that, 7-5 now is the score.
SLG managing to dance around the pole and hoping that he can have the result of an extra $11,000 for his team. As he locks in that headshot, but respectful. Locks in another double kill, answers back there. It's 10 kills to 7. NaVi have a lead, but it's only a little bit.
An unnecessary death, I would say, at the end of that life from SLG. He's going to lose that shock rifle momentarily. Kimbo with sword in hand, slice, dice. Shad, you're gone. Can he get a second? No, he gets taken down as well. So trades across the board now as power weapons remain on the floor. We'll see who can get control of these and potentially gain a lead for their team.
Jim, head on a swivel, locks in one, unable to punish the second player, but respectful there. They've got this buddy system in place. They're working in tandem with one another. Perhaps Wonderboy in their ears, making sure they stay calm. 3-kill game now.
TchiK, he's surrounded. He loses shock rifle, actually delivers it. Hand delivers it to the members of Quadrant. NaVi in control of the map here, though, and Respectful has done a good job to trade out a few kills in his team's favor. I actually love this play by him. Just bait this situation. You can play this slow. It works out for him anyways, and that sword kill opens up the map a little bit for NaVi fans.
And Respectful making TchiK skewers right there as he sends him to the grave. Kimbo now bottom middle. Heading up towards the staircase, camouflage in his chest. TchiK has no idea he's there off the respawn. 3 shots, but I love this patience from Kimbo, not overextending.
Just the fact that NaVi have secured this camo is almost enough to give you confidence if you're a NaVi fan, because we've seen the damage Quadrant has been able to do with the camouflage so far in this series. NaVi changing the story of that, and with that, they changed the lead in their favor.
TchiK backs down bottom elevator. Shad takes position top elevator, getting angles for one another. SLG picks up Respectful in the feed. Kimbo gets that information. Fragxr backs down into pipes after a couple of warning shots. This game's back and forward. We're all tied up here.
Interesting position from Kimbo there, but nobody quite focused on him from Quadrant, so he may be able to get the jump on some players. Unfortunately, Jimbo gets caught overextending for that shock rifle, and now Respectful answers it back with 2, but unfortunately, it's just TchiK and Respectful left on the map to play around, and Respectful, he has his eyes set potentially on that shock rifle. He actually leaves it behind, though, and I actually like that play because so often do we see players get enthralled by that shock rifle to where they don't push. They're not applying pressure enough on the enemy team.
Sometimes that shock rifle, you can be like a magpie drawn to a shiny thing, but Respectful leaves it where it is, more focused in his battle rifle, more focused on getting the damage his team needs, and as a result of that, they've got a 4-kill advantage.
Did he just slide somebody? Oh my, TchiK with the trigger discipline lets the first go by. Unfortunately, the second one is the one with the plasma, so it's just a trade, but TchiK had everything planned out accordingly. It just didn't work out in his favor that time around. TchiK finding himself a double, some body disrespect, the shock rifle in hand, and camouflage being up with slays going in the favor of NaVi now bode well for their opportunity.
TchiK dishing out the gold blend. And Kimbo with his second successive camouflage this time. What can he do? A couple of shots at the Shad. Shad answers back though, spins on a swivel, and shuts the German down.
Man, Kimbo just isn't on his A game so far today. He had a rough series against Ascent. An easy kill in long haul, you think, when he's got camo in his hand, and what does he do? He actually wastes that camo. He gets removed from the map. A reversal kill for Quadrant, and Quadrant needed that one bad to get back into this one.
5-kill lead for NaVi. 7 minutes left on the clock. Camouflage will not be another factor for a minute or so. It's all battle rifles, it's all gun skilled, it's all tactics from here on out. TchiK trying to get a little bit tricky, heads over towards the sword now, picks it up, scoops it up. A 2-kill game.
That was all 4 dead for NaVi. Quadrant clean sweeping them off the map. Respawners over towards the elevator, but they're split spawners. Look how there's only 2 of them, but somehow across the map, a little bit of help goes a long way on these respawners, and NaVi are able
Fragxr
to compete.
Respectful and Kimbo send SLG and Fragxr packing. It's just a 4-kill game now. 37 to 33 and 30 seconds to camouflage. You do not know how hard it is as an Irish person to say 30, but I tell you something, it's worth it here. As Respectful backs down a player, but he looks for more. The reach-out comes through. It's still a 3-kill game. Jimbo restores parity.
Fragxr with 13 to his name already. That was a big kill on a Respectful, who actually expected him to come from there. Unfortunately, since then, kills have been traded out, and it looks like NaVi's still with a 3-kill lead for now. As we approach 50 kills, Quadrant need to figure out a way to trade efficiently enough to close the distance on this gap before it's too late.
Camo has just popped. The last 2 have gone towards Kimbo and indeed NaVi. He's not in a position to pick this one up, but TchiK is. The call has come through and he has answered it. There will not be any engaged tones here. It's still a 2-kill game and perhaps the game in the hands of TchiK.
Even keeping this camo out of the hands of Quadrant, as I continue to say, is massive for Na'Vi fans. Wonderboy doing his job as the coach to make sure they secure camos this time around. Can't quite finish that kill, and every kill that gets away is massive because it's a one-kill game, Shurzy.
Melee comes through to secure and make sure it remains a one-kill game. TwoFoxy locks in two, looking for the third.
Let's go.
And he gets it, carves a hole straight through the hearts of Quadrant. It's a 3-kill game.
TwoFoxy having one hell of a weekend so far, makes it a triple kill to create the 3-kill difference now. 5 minutes left, and look how Na'Vi want to play this. They slow the game down with Shock Rifle in TwoFoxy's hands. They are in every position to end this one in their favor.
Na'Vi setting traps. Will
Gotta be
Quadrant
careful.
step into them? TwoFoxy. Fragxr flirt with the idea of stepping out of line. TwoFoxy will make him pay, pinging that location. He knows there's 2 players positioned there. Eyes set towards TchiK, top glass. TchiK has backed him down for the moment, sending shots over. Respectful's in a position to get in the 1v1 engagement here. Kimbo and Respectful up against SLG. Fragxr picks up one to help the 2 kills go their way. TwoFoxy picks up one as well. It's 46 to 43. Pressure on TwoFoxy. Jimbo's on hand to help out his pal. 3 kills required now for Na'Vi to secure game 2.
Camo coming up in 15 seconds. Did Na'Vi opt to try and end this game before it comes up, or did they decide to try and end this one? Another kill for TwoFoxy, rips the face off, and a killing spree to try and end this one. TwoFoxy taking the game into his own hands.
Where's your head at? Kimbo puts more bullets in the face.
There we go.
And game 2 is secured. It's cemented for Na'Vi. They take a 2-0 series lead.
17 for TwoFoxy. We saw a majority of those kills collected towards the end, but it was that camo control consistently throughout that game 2 that really made that a much easier job for Na'Vi, and they needed that one to make sure that the momentum they built in game 1 wasn't lost, wasn't discontinued. They don't keep Quadrant in this series any longer than Quadrant need to stay, because you know they want to get back to their chance to play Ascend as soon as possible.
It was as though they learned on the fly from the mistakes they made against Ascend. And indeed, the early engagements in that CTF game on Aquarius, the camouflage was going to be huge. They lost a couple of them, and Ascend applied pressure. Ever since then, the priority has been pick up those power-ups, pick up those power weapons, and that's really been the story of this series.
Taking a look at the stats, Fragxr having the best performance on the side of Quadrant, and we asked him to step up. He says, I'll do just that. Drops 15 of his own, but it's TchiK and SLG that leave you wanting more.
Respectful, 14 kills, 11 deaths, and 8 assists as well. Really helping his team to cement game number 2. Our attentions do turn now towards Live Fire Oddball. Wes, what can you tell me about it?
Live Fire Oddball is a game that was 5-point difference when these two teams played. It was 204 to 199. Na'Vi ended up pulling it out, but you know that went to a round 3. You know it was a close one. If we've learned anything from the first 2 games, I don't think Quadrant's just done yet.
Let's talk about it then. The first 2 games you spoke about, how these games have been back and forth, these series have been back and forth in scrims and indeed in tournament play. But these first 2 games, the coin has landed on the Na'Vi side.
You talk about what's different in tournaments from scrims a lot, right? And that's a big discussion point about having ice, having wherewithal, having courage, having confidence to kind of play through this. Na'Vi coming off that 3-0 from Ascend, you think if there's any opportunity for Quadrant to finally get it done in tournament play, it's here and now. And what a moment that would be for them, but Na'Vi have erased that opportunity almost from happening, and they've gained some confidence while doing so. Na'Vi looked damn good in game 2. I expect to see a very strong performance in game 3. It's the side of Quadrant. The players that are being quiet in this series so far, the TchiKs, have to step up, and they only have one more game to do so.
One more nail then in the Quadrant coffin. If they get one more, they're dead and buried, and they will be eliminated with 11,200. Not a bad consolation, but Na'Vi they're looking beyond the money. They want to get straight back in the grand finals. They're not happy with how that first series went against Ascend.
The money's nice, don't get me wrong, but Na'Vi, this team was put together to build championships, to achieve glory. So far, they have not found that. They have found second place after second place after second place in this region. They have dreams and aspirations of going up against Ascend, rewriting the story, reverse sweeping them in the grand finals. 2 best-of-5s are what it's gonna take, but in order to get there, they're gonna have to win one more game. And they have to focus on that now because we saw how when they're playing poorly, they can lose 3 straight games to a team like Ascend. And this Quadrant team has had very successful scrim results as far as totals go that make me think Quadrant, if they can get their feet on the ground and get some sort of life with a Game 3 win, this could go the distance.
Let's talk about it then. How do Quadrant get their feet on the ground? How do they build on this? They're down 0-2 in the series. They're playing lights out now. It has to be all guns blazing. And indeed, power-ups has been a major story, a major talking point. Their coach, Nurix, needs to get their team in point and in place. Yeah,
I mean, when they were having success so far throughout the series, they were having the camo in their control. They were using the heat wave to their success. When they were getting beat in these last few games, it's camo control, heat wave, shock rifle in the hands of TwoFoxy. Things are going wrong when the other team has that much power curve in their favor. You have to figure out a way to swing that story back in your hands. And it really is the timing of the slays that was the big differential moments in that game too. Slays always benefited NaVi as the camo was coming up, that 15-second buffer to get yourself in a position to compete for that camo as best as possible. Quadrant on a map like Livefire, they're going to have to put themselves in good positions before the power-up comes up in order to secure some of these. There will be that opening, though, because if we can take anything from the Ascend series and apply it to here, it is that NaVi were not able to secure any of the camouflages throughout their Ascend Livefire game. If I'm Quadrant, that's the shining light at the end of the tunnel that we need to focus on.
NaVi then, looking dominant. But will Livefire Oddball be a little bit of an Achilles heel here? Or will this benefit them? Every single game, every single time these teams have played against one another, it's been so close, it's been so tight, there's been nothing between them, nothing to separate them. Quadrant have to get the job done here, or they will be eliminated. Here we go.
Respectful. Gonna try and compete for the snipe and compete. He does just that, but in the kill feed, it's all Quadrant outside of the first pick, and because of it, they look to get early ball time, but Kimbo finds himself a kill and maybe lessens the strength of the potential setup we would have seen early on from Quadrant.
Kimbo with the sniper rifle, lands a body shot and ends up trading out his life though, so the heat wave got the job done. Heat wave versus sniper rifle, they trade each other out. It's all battle rifles until those guns are scooped back up again. With that story starting to come to fruition once more, it's TwoFoxy, it's NaVi with the camouflage.
Yeah, TwoFoxy has taken it upon himself so far throughout the series to get some of these camouflages with it. He's got snipe, heat wave, all the power one man can have in his hands. He's forced to trade though, so a good job by Quadrant to get it removed from the map as quickly as possible. Unfortunately for Quadrant fans, NaVi look to have this tower set up, and the last time I saw NaVi have this set up, they just about ended the game in perfect manner against the Flying Dutchman yesterday.
3 dead now. 1 dead apiece, 3 alive for the moment. 15 seconds to 10. Neither team really able to get the setup that they do desire. TchiK looking to change that here, picking up the ball and picking up scrappy ball time as well, milking it all the while, rotating it towards his teammate and putting it in a position to play ball if he needs to, but he's not going to get far enough. But unfortunately, Fragxr's the last man alive. NaVi have ball and sniper rifles down there too.
Yeah, I love how Jimbo just opts to pick up that ball, doesn't really care for that snipe. He's going to actually leave it for Kimbo, and he's been very quiet today as of yet, but a great opportunity for him to start getting loud, making some bangs with that snipe. Can't quite hit the first shot, but tries to play his life as best as possible. So Quadrant actually doing a good job there to break the setup early.
4 go down for NaVi. This is the opportunity for Quadrant to stake a claim in this series. They're not playing around. He misses that body shot, does TchiK, drops the snipe rifle, but the damage wasn't done. And TwoFoxy has picked up another camouflage.
TwoFoxy, too many camos are given away on the hands of Quadrant, and because of it, this setup is all for naught. You can guarantee TwoFoxy's going to turn this into a kill. They're forced to play the ball. Can he get a second? Is the big question.
Lovely shots from TwoFoxy, baiting out that heatwave player and letting them know that you've fallen straight into my trap with a little bit of disrespect.
Immediately, NaVi gets that ball back to tower. Another opportunity at this setup. Such a strong opportunity for them. They're starting to build this lead now, Jersey.
41 seconds to 34. Quadrant do stop the bleeding. They do eliminate some of the players on the NaVi side. Jimbo in a 1v1 back tower, and Shad makes sure he can secure that for his team.
Couple were dead for NaVi at the moment. Quadrant That ball still being neutralized, not able to secure it, and it's in a very difficult spot. Wouldn't be surprised if it resets here shortly. SLG's found the new snipe. Can he put it to use is the big question. Unfortunately, it doesn't find home, and with that, NaVi with a great opportunity here to potentially get some slays in their favor as well.
3 dead for Quadrant, 2 for NaVi. They have the numbers advantage. What can he do with it, though? They're making a real meal of this kill bottom middle, and somehow, some way, TchiK has managed to survive that long, and that does nothing but buy time for Quadrant to get back on the map, and they're contesting ball once more.
Quadrant get the slays they need, and like you said, TchiK, it doesn't show up at anything but a death in the statistical category, but he buys time somehow. It was the ugliest melee fight we may have seen all weekend, but it was enough for Quadrant respawners to impact this ball, and now with it, they bring it to house and gain the lead themselves.
2 go down for Quadrant. 52 seconds to 41. Very little to separate these two teams again. The pinch comes through, though. SLG wasn't left long for the world, and TchiK was the last man alive momentarily as he comes off the respawn. Shad gets contested over towards pillars. He's back down. He bobs and weaves. And again, TwoFoxy has the camouflage.
Too many times have we seen TwoFoxy with these camos, and he's done work every time he gets them in his hands already with a perfect kill to his name. A great job to repulse that player, but Shad finally removes him from the map. But every time NaVi get these camos, what is it doing? Yeah, they may not have the most successful camo plays with them, but at least they're denying them from the hands of Quadrant.
Is this a testament to how good Quadrant are playing? They've lost every single camouflage, but they still
the
find themselves ahead.
Still have the lead for now, but it's almost a matter of time, right? You can't make that many mistakes this many times and expect to come away with wins. But the scrappy ball time has benefited Quadrant, and because NaVi really haven't been able to get that one solidified setup that we know that they're capable of, Quadrant are still remaining in the lead.
74 seconds, and SLG snuck another extra burst into the body of Respectful, just maybe ensuring he was still dead.
You know that's intentional. SLG has seen the body disrespect from TwoFoxy. These two teams do not like each other. They want to claim the opportunity to play in the grand finals later on, and what an upset this would be for Quadrant to create here and now in the EU Super.
9 seconds is all that's required for Quadrant to lock in round 1. Unfortunately for them, TchiK is the last man alive, but he's only come up off the respawn over towards green. NaVi have control of the map now. They require 48 seconds. Ball was not played.
If you're a Quadrant fan, you want to see them slow this down. Camo's coming up. Jimbo and the boys are already over it, and Quadrant, they just need to get their kills. 9 points is all they need, and Shad with the ball in hand, he's able to take down that carrier from NaVi. Turns the corner, and he may just end it here.
1 second's all that's required. Fragxr's on hand to lock it in. Round 1. Quadrant show signs of life. They're on life support, but their heart's still beating.
I'm telling you, they win a game 3. This series looks a lot different than just moments ago. Now Quadrant, thank God he didn't run off the map. Jimbo getting a little bit of a bug right there. As so often in matchmaking, when I receive that, I am on respawn very short.
Yeah, I start doing a doggy paddle the minute I see that ledge, but Jimbo manages to be locked in, lasered. That's how focused he is. Doesn't dip off the map into the drink, but snipe shot to the body, BR shot, or a melee would have done. He opted for the latter, gets that, and locks in that kill for his team. 3 go down now for the boys on NaVi. Ball in control, and perhaps a camouflage. Indeed a camouflage for SLG sniper rifle.
Even if you're not able to do anything, at least you get it out of the hands of TwoFoxy in this round. Quadrant having won round 1 with absolutely 0 camo control. Already things looking better.
Shad and TchiK pick up kills in the feed. Fragxr, though, has joined the boys in yellow and black. SLG patiently waiting for angles, waiting for NaVi to expose themselves, and they might be through top middle. 3-man push over towards sandbags, and SLG locks in the one on the Jimbo, and with the help of Shad, locks in 2.
Almost a Quigley from SLG as he lands a body shot on one player, headshot on the other. And a lot of damage done with just one bullet. Gives Quadrant the numbers they need to hold this setup a little bit longer.
German shields is cracked. The Frenchman sends that warning shot that will back down Kimbo from making any sort of push, and they were going to need that push to be slowed down as TchiK has lost his life elsewhere. Ball rotation coming through, but it's not going to come quick enough. But Shad has that heat wave.
No.
SLG wants a brawl, but he's not going to be able to come out on top.
The no-scope was close, but no cigar for SLG just as yet.
The
ball, it does get played, though. So Quadrant somehow get that ball to green, able to throw it off the map and delay some of the time NaVi would have gotten there.
Ball down.
SLG.
4-3 down for NaVi. And SLG looking to turn his team's fortunes around here. Looking to grab this series, this game in particular, by the scruff of its neck. 2 camouflages now without reply for Quadrant. They're starting to turn the screw.
2 for 2 so far here in round 2. Unfortunately, Fragxr, he spotted out, forced to trade, but some good grenades allow him to trade in that situation, and Quadrant deny camo from the hands of NaVi, and we'll get this lead. It's significant, 48 points to 4.
NaVi looks so disjointed. They haven't been able to make a full push in a very, very long time. Jimbo's soaring out front C, front tower here.
Back it up, Jimmy.
Put it in reverse. 2 Foxy, unable to do that as he is sent to the respawn screen, and Quadrant remain a full complement of players. SLG drops down bottom middle. TchiK's looking to get aggressive, and he's getting rewarded for it, as is SLG.
Back it up, Jimmy, says TchiK. A great job by SLG, a great job by TchiK, and now the Slayers for Quadrant starting to come alive when they need them most.
76 seconds to 4. This round has been dominant. It has not been competitive. NaVi remain disjointed. They're not able to catch themselves, not able to get a grip on this game. 15 seconds is all that's required. Ball over towards Nest.
SLG just needs to stay alive. He's got all the power weapons in his hands, and with such a significant lead, 9 points remaining to take this game, you just don't want to hand these over to the hands of NaVi.
Ball's being played. Sniper rifle with the help of a meat wave gets the job done. NaVi finally get their hands on the ball, but it has to be. The old saying goes true. It rings through. It has to be perfect Halo.
I don't think they're capable of it, man. Quadrant have woken up. It's a little late from the start of the series, but just in time for them to extend this one to a game 4. And TchiK, with snipe in hand, finds himself another one.
Quadrant are taking off the wet tires. They're putting on the soft tires, and they're looking to build speed and momentum here.
Speed, momentum, adrenaline, everything going in Quadrant's favor here in game 3. And because of it, we're going to see a game 4 here in our elimination bracket finals.
Quadrant then. They're making game of it. They're making a series of it. They're not going out without a whimper. They're showing signs of life. Game 3 locked in. That was much better.
If I had a game 5 dance in me, I would start doing it because I want nothing more than a game 5. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be up to Quadrant. And if they're able to replicate the same performance they were just in game 3, they're not only looking at a game 5, they could potentially come back and reverse sweep NaVi. An unbelievable performance here, and taking a look at the stats. I mean, TchiK, SLG, they lead the team, and these are the players that we hyper-focused on all weekend as being the must-have contributors for this roster. We
spoke about yesterday how TchiK perhaps has relieved the pressure on SLG being that main slayer, but SLG is back, and particularly in that game, he took the game by the scruff of its neck.
Yeah, that's the best we've seen SLG play, and he's one of those guys that we know he's capable of, right? His ceiling is high. We always talk about it. It's when he gets that sniper in hand that we know he's the most lethal. So often in game 3 was he able to secure that snipe in his hand, and he did work with it just about every single time.
Taking a look at the highlights. They were back and forth, but let's talk about it. Let's pick holes. Let's dissect what happened to NaVi. It looked at me all swimmingly. They were getting every single camouflage, but Quadrant every single time held on in there.
Talk about camo control and how it was immediately erased from the hands of NaVi. Ever since Quadrant started picking up those camos, you saw how much success they were able to have with it. It's not just about getting the camo and what do you do with it. It's about not having to play against the enemy team that has that camo. Even if it's one kill can give you numbers that allow for an entire swing of momentum that breaks setups or holds setups longer, that allow so much pressure to build throughout these games. We saw how well Quadrant were able to do there in game 3. I'm looking at Streets with no power-ups. It's going to be Rocket and Bulldog shotgun control that makes the difference here.
Series overview then. Aquarius CTF 4-3. Slayer recharge 50-44, but Quadrant, they rise from the ashes like the Phoenix, like they've done all through the elimination bracket in pools. They're looking to continue that run. Live fire Oddball goes their direction. And now, like you say, Strongholds Streets is our next stage, and it is set and ripe for the next game.
These two teams, they played this twice in their most recent scrims. Each team winning one of the contests, but I'd have to say Quadrant winning 250 to 83 was the impressive statistic that stuck out to me. The win for NaVi, it was a close one, 250 to 204, I believe. So I expect this one to be close, but I would say Quadrant once again favored in this game going into game 4.
at the very least, have Quadrant planted the seed of doubt now for NaVi?
I would say, if anything, we've seen NaVi struggle when they lose that first game. Ascend, the series got uglier and uglier and uglier as it went on, right? That game 3, it went poorly for them in that winner's bracket finals. For them to be in this situation, they need to stop this train at this stop. They have to shut the door on this series. They have to get to that grand finals as soon as possible, because leaving the door open for Quadrant to gain momentum, to gain confidence. You saw the body disrespect matched by SLG towards the end of that game 3. That shows me SLG is gaining confidence, and with that confidence, he started to statistically perform better.
Has that body disrespect only awoken the beast in SLG here?
It looked like it. The bright side here on Streets is going to be that there are no snipes, right? And we know how successful SLG is with those sniper rifles. There is that Stalker rifle that acts as a longer range, high damage output rifle, but so difficult to perform as well with it compared to a shock rifle or a sniper rifle in S7. So we'll see if SLG can get his hands on that, see what kind of work he can do with that, but NaVi need to do a much better job of controlling the power weapons and getting them out of the hands of SLG and the boys.
Quadrant go once more into the fray.
Here he is.
It's go hard or go home. Red gun secured for SLG. Stock rifle with eyes for the rocket launcher.
High focus from NaVi onto SLG. It's like they know what he's about to do. They take him down, and before he's able to make his mark, put his stamp on game 4, Jimbo and the boys have got the kills, got the rockets to match.
Jim locks in one,
Great
sends
rockets.
one towards the heavens and locks in 2. Looking to turn 2 to 3, but shut down SLG in PD. Stays alive for the moment, but not for long.
2 clean wipes of Quadrant will reward NaVi with an opportunity at a trip cap here. Now the question is, how long can NaVi hold this one on?
Where's the push coming? First pick for Shad. Answered back though. Grenade hits, lands to the feet, pops the shields of one. And Fragxr locks that one in for his team. Plasma grenade does land at the feet of Fragxr, but he's evaded the attentions, but only for now, as Respectful cleans house.
A big kill from Respectful to keep A in his team's favor. C is something that they lost, but you're seeing how NaVi didn't have to overextend in order to lose their trip cap.
4 dead momentarily for Quadrant. NaVi are ready for war here on Street Strongholds. Fragxr trying desperately to control A and stop the bleeding. They've also got their attentions on C. Respectful's flipped it. They flipped C. They traded for A.
You can feel the momentum back in NaVi's hands. They have started game 4 out the exact way they wanted to here to stop Quadrant from being able to do anything. The slay's heavily in their favor, and now the score is starting to get out of hand even early on.
NaVi continue to beat the battle drum. 70-second points now to 4. Fragxr trying to turn his attentions towards C, but NaVi say thanks very much. We'll just take A all over again.
Yeah, they're going to have to flip the map, but more importantly, with rockets coming up, you got to see how Quadrant's able to get slays here and now to try and turn this one around, because Kimbo finding a double could be just what the doctor ordered to continue to push this NaVi lead in their favor.
Kimbo baited into red room, and all he was met with was fresh death and the bark of a bulldog, and
here we go.
It bit and took hold of him. Rockets though, too foxy. He picks them up. Jim had the first set. He lands one on the arcade floor. That's not going to break just games, going to break hearts, and he secures and resets B.
Too foxy, too smooth right there with the shots onto the player on the staircase. Able to find that double, reset B, and continue control in NaVi's favor.
B transferred, but they have captured C in the meantime. A and B now flipping back over towards Quadrant. Our attention's turned towards A. No NaVi players in position. First time Quadrant have had real control.
Interesting combination there from SLG. Stalker rifle, Sentinel beam in hand, not able to do any of the damage before he gets taken down, and what seems to be a shortly lived control for Quadrant now as NaVi look to swarm just about every one of the strongholds.
Love that from SLG, trying to stay alive, but also I love it from NaVi. They completely negated B, left one teammate there and soared towards A, Wes.
They wanted to flip the map. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if they've gotten the slays in order to kind of perform that strategy. Just like that, Fragxr with a big kill on the Jimbo, make it 2 dead. So Quadrant are able to hold A. They actually spawn C as well, so the map flip from NaVi a little bit slow, and we'll see if that's punishable by the Quadrant members.
Quadrant, for a moment, had the Perman set up in A and C. It has been flipped back around now, and A in their control. Now Quadrant's attention's turned towards B. TchiK turning up, firing all cylinders, locks in a double kill before being sent to the grave. Plasma grenade will deny that area, and that's going to be enough to get and lock in B for his team. but unfortunately all the slays are going towards Quadrant, and NaVi are on the back foot again.
That's a big double out of SLG too. Those 2 kills are going to keep A and B in their favor, and they need to figure out a way to get some of this control and keep it to get back into this one. You do not want this score to get out of hand, and right now a 60-point lead benefits NaVi. Nice.
3 dead. Kimbo last man alive. A in control, B in control of Quadrant. They're looking to bounce back and eat away at this lead, and they're doing so successfully as they've cut that deficit in half now. 111 to 57. That slide is going to come through. The help of a teammate will get the job done. NaVi are like lambs to the slaughter right now.
A bit of a chaotic opportunity for Shad, but he finds the best of it as he gets an assist, a kill with those set of rockets, and Quadrant with their first set of power on the map are able to transition it immediately into the score, now just down 30 points.
A and B remain in control. They remain and they keep on scoring. Plasma grenade comes through the door. It's going to be enough to get 2 Foxy as he slides towards his death. All the slays now, all the momentum in the Quadrant court, and another huge 1v1 and some body disrespect to boot.
SLG, he's starting to heat up. The confidence is back. Whatever lead NaVi gained early on in this game, it's removed. It's about a 10-point game. As the map is flipped, A gets controlled, but Quadrant get the kills once again, so NaVi will be coming up respawn.
SLG killing Jimbo and his ghost as well, making sure everything will not keep on moving. He is slaughtered. Dies bottom tower though. B and C still in control. Quadrant have taken the lead. Respectful look at the turn his attentions to B, and he wins that 1v1.
4, says Respectful. Nobody disrespect needed. A statement made with the shots. Wins another big one with this thrust, and Respectful able to keep B in control of NaVi. Prevents the trip cap from Quadrant for now.
Maintains B control. A and C though have well and truly been in control of Quadrant. Looking to change that now, NaVi. B and C flip. 2 dead for Quadrant. This is the opportunity NaVi needs.
Yeah, even though Respectful picks up 3 massive kills, nobody else on NaVi finding that level of success, and because of it, control still in the hands of Quadrant. B can't quite be transferred as of yet, but the battle around these pillars is so pivotal to the score of this game right now, and it does look like Quadrant have come out on top.
Quadrant survive. They hold. Rockets for SLG.
Again.
He picks up 1. Drop shield comes through, waiting for someone to get out of line. In Cafe, he will not be serving coffee today. A and B reset once more. They hold once more.
Revenge. It's on the menu for SLG and the boys on Quadrant. They want to beat this NaVi team in tournament play. 11K on the line, 2nd place at the very least. An opportunity at the giants of a sin, but to get there, we're gonna have to play at least the rest of this game 4, potentially a game 5, and total control for Quadrant could be just what the doctor ordered to get us there.
Kimbo desperately trying to stay alive, gets control of A, backs down towards Cafe, does not want to be the next pick on the map. We're seeing members of NaVi spawn over towards Cafe, and here comes the push now. They're funneling over towards A.
Look how smooth Quadrant's gameplay. Look, they're playing so fast. Shad with the rotation. Sees a player jumping in C, he's gonna have the advantage, the help, the distraction he needs to get that kill. It's easy, and because of it, he makes his way towards B. SLG with that Stalker rifle in hand, focusing on positioning as well, and now B setup has to be the focus for NaVi, and that's such a difficult one to try and transition in your favor when you're getting sandwiched from both sides.
3 dead for Quadrant. This is the opening now. They've managed to amass 213 points to just 121. That hot start that NaVi had was immediately shut down, but can NaVi hold now?
So often do we see a trip cap immediately reversed, and that's NaVi's recipe for success here and now. They're able to get A and C controlled for just a moment potentially, but A, is being transferred back into Quadrant's favor. Unfortunately, TchiK can't get it done, and 2 Foxy slides in, gets a kill, gets an assist, gets the reset, more importantly, 3 dead for Quadrant, and now all of a sudden, Quadrant are on the ropes.
And here comes the Rockets. That can be a compliment to any team. Respectful look at the secure B and a triple cap of their own. Rocket secures 1. Put down some splash damage into tower. Takes that player down to no shields. SLG will no longer be a factor. 2 Foxy is just absolutely clearing house right now.
Oh my god, it was almost a 100-point lead from Quadrant from the mid-game, but that set of rockets, that power control, the positioning from NaVi right back in this one.
SLG desperately trying to stay alive. teammate on hand to capture C. But what does it mean in the grand scheme of things? The picture here is Jimbo soars in. One grenade takes care of two Frenchmen. He's cleared out C, but now Quadrant's starting to spawn over towards B.
The trip cap back in effect with C being transferred from Jimbo. A massive double to put Quadrant back in respawn, and Quadrant not able to find the slays in the past minute, and because of it, they're about to lose the lead. They've just done that, and now Quadrant need to act quickly. They have to figure out a way to get slays.
Respectful, desperately trying to stay alive.
Big.
Cannot get that trade as two go down for NaVi here. 227 to 213. They continue to score here.
They continue to score. B is going to be transferred over. It's up to Jimbo to get the kill. He does just that. The killing spree for Jimmy. Still on this killing spree has allowed the A and C control for NaVi, and now Quadrant have one life to play around.
This next push, these next engagements are so pivotal. Fragxr, you have to move. They're scoring points here. The attention is going to be C. Fragxr's playing defense on B, but Kimbo's picked up one on the Shad. What can Jimbo do here?
Jimbo's just going to have to play his life, and he's going to win. He gets the kill with it. But A, spawners over at A are going to be able to capture it quickly, but just like that, B goes in the hands of Kimbo.
Two down now for Quadrant, and they're not going to be able to get into a stronghold. The game was back and forth. The series was back and forth, but NaVi ice up and they secure. They're going back to grand finals.
NaVi have got it done. On the back of those last few sets of rockets, it just gave them the power curve they needed to get not only the first round of slays, but to keep that control, to put them staggered on spawn, flip the map when they needed to. And we saw both successful trip casts from each team, but it was NaVi's that was much stronger at the end.
Quadrant had so much control in that mid-game. They were scoring so many points. They were down by 121 to 5 when they start scoring. They bring it all the way up to 222, and it gets whisked away from them in a moment, and NaVi roar back into things.
It's incredible. Just when you think we're going to a game 5, NaVi, they get their act together, and NaVi's best quality sticks out to me once again. Game 4. They get that total control. Everything makes sense. They have the spawners where they want them. They're able to structure their play style so perfectly around it. You can tell when the game feels comfortable for NaVi is when they have the most success.
Kimbo had the most kills in his team, but there's two players that I want to highlight who went massive in that last game. Two, Foxy, and indeed Jimbo. Great performances from them.
Jimbo with 5,700, but looking at the other side, two players to match them. TchiK and SLG having phenomenal games 3 and 4, just not enough to get it done.